Groton Parks and Recreation programs have a new home. Stay tuned as we take a look at the new Groton Community Center with Director Mark Berry on this week's edition of Welcome to Groton. Welcome to Groton. Today we have with us Mark Berry, Groton Parks and Recreation Director. Thanks for being here, Mark.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're so welcome. So we are at the new Groton Community Center. This is exciting. What was the idea of moving into the former Fitch Middle School from William Seeley?
Yeah, so the town had made a decision to try to close William Seeley and sell the property.
Right.
And William Seeley was where we were running most of our programs, so we had to find an alternative site, and Fitch Middle School was open, and I think it makes a great location for us, just proximity. We're in the center of Groton, and we're close to so many other resources, you know, the senior center, the library, and I also think of it as like the recreational hub now, because you've got Quantic Plains Park, you've got Sutton Park, and the skate park, and Terrace Centennial Playground, so
it's nice.
I think it made sense to move it here.
Yeah, a natural pick for it.
Yes.
The former Fitch Middle School was about 70 years old.
Right.
So how much work did it take to kind of get it ready for us to move in here?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago the council approved money because the building had been closed, we had to bring it up to code in order for us to get back in. So the council had approved money for fire suppression. So they did that, and that process took a couple of years to do. But that was just to get it so that it was up to code.
Right.
And then what happened was the Parks and Recreation, the park staff came in, and we repainted all the walls.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and then we brought in somebody to do the artistic part of it.
Beautification.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Well, speaking of her, I know who she is, but let's tell our viewers. Can you tell us about the artist that did all the amazing murals around the building?
Sure. Yeah. So as it turned out, we went through a process of trying to come up with a name for the senior center.
Yes, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So we did this, contest where people made suggestions, and during that process, she happened to see this notice that we were moving into this new building, and her name is Felicia Stevens. She's runs the Drunken Palette over in New London, and so she saw it and said, "Hey, I'd like to volunteer some time to kind of make this building, really pop." So
sometime?
Yeah. So she ended up spending close to 300 hours.
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Her work is amazing.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I mean, if you go around to the different rooms, like in the dance room, there's a beautiful picture of a dancer, and then
the arts and crafts
lounge.
room.
Yeah, the arts and crafts room. The lounge room has this beautiful mural on it, and she's so creative. And she would come to us and say, "Hey, I want to do this," and we were like, "Yeah, just go ahead. It's wonderful." And the reaction from the public has been really positive. I think it really adds some life to an old, like you said, it's a 70-year-old building, but it adds a lot of life to the building.
It does. It's very aesthetically pleasing. When you first walk in, it makes you feel like you are at a community center. Right. From just the first look. So I think that's great that you got her. And thank you, Felicia, for doing that, because like you said, 300 hours?
300 hours, and we actually had a heart opening for the community center a few weeks ago, and we invited her over and recognized her for all of her work, and we've actually put a plaque up
I saw that when I first came in.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. It's right at the front entrance?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still getting acclimated to the building myself.
Yeah, it's kind of an odd shaped building, but
It's great.
Yeah.
So what other than the actually getting the building up to code and everything, what are some of the other challenges of moving in here from William Seeley with all the Groton Parks and Recreation programs?
Yeah, so just the timing of the whole thing was a challenge in itself, because we were running programs, and we were getting set to run new programs, and the contractor was finishing up his work.
Oh my gosh.
So we had about a week to move everything from William Seeley to here and get it set up.
The manpower just to move the physical equipment.
Right. So that was a bit of a challenge. And then, like you said earlier, this is different parts of the building are different years old, and so the building is old. So there are some challenges that we're facing.
Right.
One would be, right now we're dealing with a water issue.
Okay.
There is lead in the water, but we've provided fountains for folks to get water that's and safe. Yeah. Yep. And then there's also hand washing stations in the bathrooms.
I saw that.
Yeah. So that's been one of the challenges, but we are moving forward with plans in place to try to correct that.
Yeah, and it's great that you've, in the process, put something to kind of temporarily answer those needs.
Right, exactly.
So that's great.
Right, and then, some of the other challenges that we're facing are, there's no AC in the building. So this, in August and September,
it might be a little toasty.
It was a little uncomfortable, but Public Works has stepped up and provided fans for us. But I think in the long term, there are plans to try to address, the air conditioning and.
It's a big building. That's a lot to address.
Building. Yes,
So that'll be a task for them.
It will, yeah. And like I said, we've already put plans in place to try to address these issues. It's just going to take some time.
Yeah. I think it's great because we've needed a community center for quite a long time.
Yeah.
William Seeley was more towards one side of town than the other. This is, like you said, more accessible.
Yeah, this is actually like the geographical center of Groton. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. What kind of work went into this particular room right here that we're in?
Oh, okay. So what we did in this room is we repainted all of the walls.
Okay.
We stripped them first and then repainted them. And again, this was done by park staff during the winter.
Yes.
We put new panels, lower panels on all of these windows.
Okay.
Just to try to cover up some of the fact that the panels were 70 years old, just to spruce it up a little bit.
Yeah.
We had Felicia do this kind of 4 pillars of service that our department provides. Sure. Yeah. So there's 4 pillars of service that our department provides to the community. Social equity, economic activity, conservation, and health and fitness. And we have a symbol for each one of those. And so we put those up there, yes.
Just like in the brochure.
It's just like in the brochure, right, yes. Exactly.
That's great. And so the flooring?
Well, the flooring actually was, we utilized the same flooring over at William Seeley.
So
we just brought it over and put it down here. Yeah.
Perfect. Wonderful.
And it fits perfectly.
Yay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break and then we'll be back and answer some more questions about the new Groton Community Center.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
It's a miracle that springs forth to feed us, to clothe us,
to bring us joy.
A miracle prompted by rain and warmth warm by the sun. But few realize without healthy soil below ground, there would be little life above it. Learn more about this miracle under our feet and how we're working with farmers and ranchers to unlock the secrets in the soil.
Welcome back. We're here at Groton Community Center with Mark Berry, Groton Parks and Recreation Director. Mark, can you tell us about this cool room we're in?
Sure. So this is our kickboxing room, and one of the things that is rather unique that we're doing here is we've have a kickboxing program for folks with Parkinson's.
That's really awesome.
It is, yeah. And so one of the things that they've discovered is that this strenuous exercise of punching a bag and whatnot actually reduces one of the side effects of Parkinson's, which is the uncontrollable shaking.
Right.
And so we acquired this equipment from a karate kickboxing studio that was going out of business. Mm-hmm. They reached out to us and said, hey, we have this equipment. Can we work out some kind of a deal? And we were very excited about it. And one of the conditions, though, was that the instructor that was teaching this program for Parkinson's wanted to continue to do that program.
Oh, okay.
So we've brought this equipment over here. She's over here now teaching. And in fact, there was just a great article in the Day newspaper.
I saw that,
a couple days ago talking about all the benefits and the people that are participating in the program are just so thankful that they have this opportunity, and they've talked about how it's positively impacted their life and their battle against Parkinson's.
Yeah, I've heard fantastic things at the senior center about people who take classes such as this. So I think it's great. And the loved ones even of those persons speak highly of them too.
Yes,
so that's awesome.
Yeah, so we're really glad that we can be doing that.
Yay.
Yeah.
So with the new building, there was a soft grand opening recently.
Yeah. Well, I guess our soft grand opening was actually when we opened the doors, and then the hard opening was the official opening that we had in November, where we recognized Felicia invited the public in and gave tours so that people could kind of see what was going on.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now the layout of the building.
Yeah.
How much is already being occupied by Groton Parks and Recreation now, and how much is left to be used at a later date?
So there are 4 wings to this building, A, B, C, and D. Parks and Recreation is in B and C wing.
Oh, okay.
And which includes the gym at the other end of the building. Right. And then there's also D wing, which we're using for cold storage. So some of the rooms are being used by Parks and Recreation for summer camp stuff.
Oh yeah.
And then we've also and this was an arrangement that we had at William Seeley. There are a couple of community groups that are using the cold storage also.
Okay.
The Groton Regional Theater has the Mystic Community bike program keeps all of their bikes in here. And then the other section is A wing, which is the two-story section of the building which faces Route 1.
Okay.
Proposed plans are to move the administration portion of Parks and Recreation, which right now we're over at Spicer House in Noank, move us from there over to here.
Okay.
And I think, operationally and efficiency-wise, it just makes a lot more sense.
It does.
And I think it's going to open up more opportunities with, we've got staff here.
They can address
12 hours
issues,
a day. Yeah, we can address issues more easily. It's easier for people to, if something comes up or if they want to register for a program, we're right here to do that. So, and then the other portion of Wing A is the auditorium.
Okay.
Yeah, which we're really excited about and have already been approached by a couple of community groups that would like to see the auditorium open.
And what's the condition of that currently?
Well, again, because it's been closed, in order to reopen it, you do have to bring it back up to code, which would require making some ADA accessibility, meeting those standards. So we'd have to make some renovations to some bathrooms. We'd have to make renovations in the physical auditorium to the seating, so that folks with wheelchairs or walkers could get in. And there's also some work that needs to be done with the air circulation and with the lighting, and there would be modifications that would have to be made to the door handles and kind of things like that.
Yeah, little things you don't think about, but
right.
are very important.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So like
that's
I said,
phase 2.
That's a phase 2, right? And that is going to be in the proposed CIP coming up for the 2020 budget. So fingers crossed.
Yes.
But like I said, we've already had a couple of community groups, specifically the Noank Mystic Community Band would like to utilize that space, and the Groton Regional Theater would also, that would just be an ideal space for them, right? Because as you know, right now they're in the senior center. It's less than ideal. It's a less than ideal situation for both the senior center. I mean, you guys are great in accommodating their needs, but it would just be a much better location for them, right?
A true home for them.
Yes.
That'd be fabulous.
Yep.
So what other programs, I know we mentioned the kickboxing, we mentioned the stuff in the other room. What other things are going on here that people, our viewers, should know about? And for the viewers that don't know where Fitch, the former Fitch Middle School is, it's right next to Groton Town Hall.
Right.
Right on the main strip here, so it's a great location if you haven't been here.
Right.
What kind of programs could they check out?
Well, I mean, we offer a variety of programs from, preschool, and in fact, we've got seniors that are coming over here now, or will be in January. They're going to be taking a karate class over here. So, we run the full gamut. One of the programs that we've been able to add, because we moved into the space, was we utilized the old music room, the middle school music room. We're utilizing as a music room.
Awesome.
And we're offering drumming classes in there. Yeah. So
that's cool. Drumming for all ages?
Drumming for all ages, yes.
Oh, that could be fun. And therapeutic.
And therapeutic, yes, exactly.
I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So all ages, everybody can use it.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to stop by and just check it out, could they?
So right now, the hours vary from day to day based on the programs that we're running.
Okay, so when program's in session.
Yeah, so what I would suggest, if someone's interested, most afternoons, probably between 3:30 and 4 o'clock would be the best time to come over.
Okay.
We do have programs during the day. I mean, right now we've got a karate program going on.
Down the
we
hall.
just had a gymnastics program for preschool kids going on. So there are, again, it just depends on the day. Yeah.
So so afternoons are best. Maybe
afternoons
call ahead to see.
Yeah, I would suggest calling the Parks and Recreation office just to confirm that it's open.
And now eventually when the administration staff moves here, maybe there'll be set hours?
Yeah, I would see that once all of the the programming staff and the admin staff and the office support staff are in this building, that we would be able to come up with more regular hours.
Perfect.
And at that point too, we might be able to, we've got an exercise room right next door, open that up for folks that want to come in before they go to work, or during their lunch hour if they wanted to do something like that.
That'd be great.
They could,
it's a great location for that.
It is, being right next to Town Hall.
We've talked about the inside of the building.
Yep.
There are some great fields here. How about using the outside space?
Yeah, so we will continue to utilize the fields here.
Okay.
We have been since, since the Board of Ed turned this facility over to us a number of years ago.
Okay.
We've got Little League fields, we've got softball fields, we've got multi-purpose fields that are getting used all the time. That's not going to change.
Great.
The one thing that I'm kind of excited about that we're working on is there is a playground over at Pleasant Valley School, and we are putting plans in place the Board of Ed has said that it did not want that playground.
Really?
Yeah, so we are making plans to disassemble that playground, reinstall it over somewhere on
here
on this facility. Yeah.
That would be really great.
It would be.
For so many parents.
Right.
I mean, Pequannock Plains and Tercentennial Playground is amazing.
Right,
But to have something also right over here would be great.
It is. It works out really well
Siblings
for families
are in class,
because exactly. Either the siblings are in class, they can go out on the playground, or the siblings are out playing soccer or lacrosse or whatever, and they can go over and utilize
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
And I like that these are things such as these and the playground equipment that are kind of be new to us, but we're making use out of something without having to spend the retail cost.
Right.
I think that's important.
So the playground, because I've been working with a representative for the playground, it's about an $80,000 playground.
Holy smokes.
And we're looking to partner with the Chief Selects, which is a group of men from the sub-base, and they've helped us on other community-based projects.
So
and this is the project that we're proposing for them for next year. So they would help us disassemble it.
Okay.
Parks and Public Works work together to put in the posts.
The stanchions,
and then the guys from the sub-base would come back and kind of reassemble everything. And we'd have, an $80,000 playground for about $6,000.
What a great partnership.
Yeah, they've really been wonderful.
Love that. I love how you guys have all these things going on and making this the best it can be. For keeping the cost low.
Yeah,
so,
right.
Mark, we're out of time, which is unfortunate because there's so much more to talk about the Groton Community Center. But how can somebody find out more information on social media?
Sure. So we've got a Facebook page.
Okay.
We've recently started an Instagram page. Yeah. We haven't done any posting yet.
We will.
But we will. Yes. And then there's, the old-fashioned way of just giving us a call at the office.
Yes, great.
And
that'll be on your screen right now.
Right.
So, Mark, thank you so much for being here. This was fascinating. I think our viewers are going to get a nice, insightful look into the community center. It's new to us. And thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And thank you all for being here. And see you next time on Welcome to Groton.